You're listening to NightLore, where stories hide in the dark, waiting to be remembered. Tonight's tale isn't one I found online. It's one that was sent to me. The man who wrote this message claimed to be a biologist, part of an Arctic research team that vanished without explanation. He said what they discovered beneath the ice wasn't a fossil or a new species, or even something alive in any way we understand. He said it was something older, something that had been waiting. He called his story The Heart Beneath the Ice. I don't expect anyone to believe me. Most days I don't believe myself either. But the nights are getting worse, and the sound, that low, steady thump, never stops. Maybe if I tell it, someone will understand what we found under the ice and what we woke up. I was a biologist, part of an international research team stationed deep in the Arctic. The mission sounded straightforward: study ancient ice layers to reconstruct climate history. Important, noble, perfectly logical science. We were 10 people, geologists, technicians, and me. 10 souls stranded in a prefabricated station, hundreds of kilometers from anything alive. Outside was endless white, a silence so complete that even the wind sounded alive. Inside, machines hummed day and night, generators drilling rigs' filtration units. The walls trembled whenever the ice shifted beneath us. Sleep came in fragments, stolen between shifts under artificial light. Weeks blurred together. The lack of sun, the monotony, it changed people. Little things started wars. A dirty mug, a misplaced note, someone breathing too loud at dinner. We all felt it, the creeping pressure of isolation. One man, Dr. Harris, felt it more than the rest. He kept running his hands along the ice cores, frowning like he could sense something through the frozen walls. "This ice feels wrong," he'd mutter. "Too dense, too old." We laughed it off. When you're trapped that far north, everyone starts seeing ghosts somewhere. Until the day the drill hit something. It was late. The core rig had been running deeper than ever before, nearly 2 kilometers down. The operator radioed that the bit had jammed. At that depth, there shouldn't have been anything but compact ice. Yet the core refused to move. We pulled it up carefully. What we saw shouldn't have existed. Inside the translucent cylinder was a black shape, massive, irregular, faintly curved. It wasn't rock. It wasn't ice. For a long time, none of us spoke. Harris was the first to break the silence. "Don't bring that inside," he said, voice shaking. "You don't dig up something that deep and just take it home." But curiosity outweighs caution. It always does. We extracted the entire section encased in dense ice and hauled it into the lab. The block was the size of a small crate, heavy as stone. We began melting the outer layers carefully, over hours, just warm enough to reveal what lay inside. At first, it looked like nothing more than dark tissue. Then I saw movement, a faint, rhythmic pulse. I remember standing there, numb as the ice turned clear. Inside was a heart. It was enormous, bigger than a man's head, blackened like burnt wood, yet undeniably organic. Thick veins coiled across it like frozen roots. And through the silence came a soft, deliberate thud. It was beating. We ran tests, desperate to explain it. Thermal scans showed no heat. DNA analysis returned nothing. No known structure, no cellular life. And still the heart pulsed. Slow, patient, steady. Each beat seemed to echo through the lab, vibrating in our ribs. Harris refused to stay near it. "You idiots think this is biology," he snapped. "It's a warning. It's not supposed to be here." We ignored him. Walker, our lead, was ecstatic. This could redefine life itself, she said. And maybe it did, just not the way she hoped. That night, I stayed behind alone, staring at it through the glass. The heartbeat wasn't just sound. It was a feeling, a pressure against my chest. When I stepped into the hallway, I could still hear it faint but constant, as if the walls themselves were breathing. Sleep didn't come. When I closed my eyes, I saw shadows moving beneath translucent ice. A vast shape shifting in darkness, slow and alive. The next morning, others confessed the same dream. Walker brushed it off as stress. Harris looked at us like dead men. Then the equipment began failing. Spectrometers flashed gibberish. Temperature controls plunged without warning. The air inside the station grew colder frost, crawling up the walls despite the heaters roaring at maximum. And still, the heart beat on. Days blurred together. We kept testing. Every sample we took contradicted the last. Some fragments dated back millions of years. Others seemed new weeks old. None of it made sense. Harris stopped sleeping entirely. He started recording himself, muttering into the mic. "You're asking the wrong questions. You can't study something that doesn't belong in time." By the third week, the nightmares had spread to everyone. We all dreamt of the same thing, a pulsating shadow under the ice, fast and patient, breathing, waiting. I told myself it was coincidence, shared stress, cabin fever. But when I caught my reflection in the lab window, the frost moved in perfect rhythm with the heartbeat. Walker decided we'd gone too far. We had to destroy it. The station's incinerator reached over 1500 degrees, enough to reduce biological waste to ash. It was our best option. We wore full protective gear, loaded the heart into a steel chamber, and watched as Walker sealed the furnace. For a moment, it was still. Then the heart twitched, just once. Walker hit the ignition. The flames roared. I swear I heard something inside scream, but maybe it was the metal twisting in the heat. Then silence. Perfect, smothering silence. The heartbeat was gone. Harris laughed, half relief, half madness. "It's over," he whispered. "It's finally over." We watched until the sensors confirmed total incineration. Ash. Nothing more. For the first time in months, the air felt lighter. I slept that night without dreams. But peace never lasts long in the Arctic. I woke to a crash that shook the entire station. The air was freezing colder than the outside. My breath hung in the dark like smoke. The sound came from the lab. I ran. The door was rimed with frost, the handle frozen stiff. When I forced it open, my flashlight caught chaos, shattered equipment, overturned tables, the containment chamber torn open from the inside. And there it was, the heart, alive, vibrant red, now glowing faintly, each beat sending ripples through the air. The pulse was louder, faster, echoing inside my skull. Harris appeared behind me, eyes wild. "We should have left it alone," he hissed. "You had to dig. You had to know." "It's impossible," I said, though I already knew that word meant nothing here. "It's not just a heart," he whispered. "It's a beacon. It's calling something." Then the floor trembled. The heartbeat grew deeper, slower, each thud like a drum beneath our feet. The lights flickered. Frost crept across the glass, thicker by the second. Walker burst in shouting orders, trying to contain the situation. Harris was beyond reason. He grabbed a metal stool, smashed a monitor, screaming that we'd doomed ourselves. "We woke it up," he yelled. "It knows we're here." Then the ice screamed. There's no other way to describe it. A high-splitting sound that came from everywhere at once. The floor cracked. The walls groaned. I felt the vibration through my bones. Walker and I tried to recontain the heart, dragging a smaller chamber into place, our hands shaking too much to latch the seals. The heartbeat pounded faster and faster until it filled the world. Then the floor split open. A fissure tore through the lab, swallowing half the equipment. The chamber teetered on the edge. For a second, the heart hung there, beating wildly, then fell into the darkness below. Everything went still. No sound, no movement, just silence and the cold. I thought it was over. Then came the sound. Not a heartbeat this time, but a deep resonant hum rising from the fissure, so low it made the walls vibrate. Something enormous was moving under the ice. Walker met my eyes. She didn't speak. She didn't have to. We both understood. The heart wasn't the creature. It was a piece of it. We ran. The hallway was fracturing lights, exploding overhead. The entire station groaned like a sinking ship. Harris was in the control room, throwing supplies into a bag. "It's coming," he shouted. "The whole damn continent's going to wake." We didn't argue. Walker grabbed the emergency beacon, eyed the radio, and we stumbled into the storm. Outside, the blizzard hit like a wall. The world was white chaos, wind screaming so hard it erased direction. Behind us, the station's lights flickered, dimmed, and vanished. Then the ground moved, not trembled, moved. The ice rose and fell in waves, as if something massive swam beneath it. A dark ridge traveled through the snow, circling the remains of our station. Walker dragged me forward. Don't look back, but I did. And through the storm, I saw a shadow bigger than the sky, indescribable, shifting alive. We reached the backup outpost hours later, half frozen, barely breathing. Harris collapsed, muttering about voices and eyes in the snow. We sent the distress call and waited 3 days for rescue. When they finally arrived, the storm was gone. The site where our station had stood was perfectly flat. No wreckage, no fissure, no trace of us at all. Just smooth, untouched ice stretching forever. I filed my report. I included everything: the heart, the readings, the collapse. I even uploaded the corrupted video logs, though the files wouldn't play right. Weeks later, the official response came back: stress-induced delusion, environmental isolation, no physical evidence. Walker quit speaking to me after that. Harris disappeared. Some say he went south. Others say he never left the ice. As for me, I tried to move on. I took a teaching job. I kept the lights on. But at night, I still dream. I see the heart beneath the glass glowing red, and I hear it, that slow, patient thump beneath the floorboards. Sometimes it's so loud, I think it's coming from my own chest. Other nights, it's quiet, a faint, distant, like it's far below me again, deep under the frozen ground, waiting. And then it stops. Not for long, just long enough for me to hope, before I feel the echo return, steady, certain, closer. We were never meant to find it, and I don't think it ever went back to sleep. If you're still here, if you made it to the end, then maybe you heard it too. That sound beneath the silence, that faint, steady heartbeat that doesn't belong to you. The original message from the biologist was deleted from every archive a week after it appeared. No record of his team, no official files, no recovery logs. Only fragments. And that sound. If you ever find yourself somewhere cold, somewhere empty, listen closely. The ice isn't silent. It never was. This has been NightLore. Sleep well, if you can.